The Creative Act Part 15. So he first talks about how if you have inspiration, you should ride that wave as much as possible. And even if you don't, you still show up anyways. So he says, if inspiration calls, we ride the lightning until the energy is exhausted. If inspiration does not come to lead the way, we show up anyway. Always do what you can with what you have, and nothing more is needed. So I feel like it's a great kind of habit to go off of. Obviously, if you have inspiration, you're gonna have the urge to do whatever you creatively do. But even if you don't have the inspiration, you should still go to the desk. You should still pull up your pen to start writing. You should still show up, because your creative juices might start flowing just from showing up. And also, it might take a few habits of just showing up to like really kick in. And bouncing off that, he mentions how the artist's job is never truly finished. So he has this long line, it's really good. The artist's job is never truly finished. Staying in it means a commitment to remain open to what's around you, paying attention and listening, looking for connections and relationships in the outside world, searching for beauty, seeking stories, noticing what you find interesting, what makes you lean forward, and knowing all of this is available to use next time you sit down to work, where the data gets pulled into form. I think that's so great. I feel like as an artist, and I definitely have a tendency to do this, where the more stuff you create, the more creative inspiration you're looking for. And I feel like when you actually purposely look for inspiration, it kind of comes easier. So like if you like take a drive, you're outside, or even if you're with your friends, you're naturally observing everything, and you're kind of like putting everything in your bag and in your back pocket to basically use and put on your desk once you start creating. So I definitely think that there is unlimited inspiration that you can get, but only if you allow it to come. This line is short, but it hits. Maybe the best idea is the one you're going to come up with this evening. So let's just use writing for example. You get in the habit to write maybe 3 short form stories like a month. Once you eventually make so many, you're going to get in the habit and just grow and just develop your skills. And so you might think like your 10 first short form ideas are horrible, but that 11th idea might be the best one. So it's like, why not keep going? Because it could be the next best hit, or it could be your best idea ever, but you won't know unless you actually do it. And I actually have a bad habit with this one, so it's a really good line for me. He says, it doesn't matter if it took months or minutes. Quality isn't based on the amount of time invested. As long as what emerges is pleasing to us, the work has fulfilled its purpose. So I used to have a bad tendency to think whatever I had to work on, it would just take hours, and that would actually make the work good. But I've come to terms to realize that since I've put in so much sweat and equity and skills that I really enjoy and like to do, I can think of an idea and crash it and just kind of power it through and make it really, basically look really good in an hour or 2 hours, 3 hours, or maybe even less than an hour. And so I definitely agree, and I've realized that time doesn't measure how good a piece of work is. This is a really good line. What ultimately makes a great work is the sum total of the tiniest details. From start to finish, everything has shades and degrees. There is no fixed scale. There can't be, because sometimes the smallest elements are the ones that weigh the most. That's so beautiful. I feel like he talks about music, since he's in music again, and he basically says that sometimes if you just like add a hi-hat or delete a hi-hat or like add a couple snares, like sometimes the tiniest details can make the difference from like an okay song to like above average song. And so it really comes down to just like trimming and skimming and tweaking and adding the cherry on top, and those things really go a long way from making it like a okay work to a great work, or even in between.